my.
It's okay, Tina.
That escalated
It's
quickly.
okay. What are we screaming about?
It's still December and we're still stuck here. We're still stuck here in December and we're still stressed out.
Super stressed out.
We are like, we just can't get past this.
We're almost there.
Like we're
Almost there.
overwhelmed, we're stressed, and we're saying, say it, you say it.
We're starting over.
Yeah, but what else? Bad word.
Bad word.
Bad word.
Fuck it. Oh
Yes!
fuck it season. It's almost over. But
No,
we're
it's not. It's like,
Well, we got
if
3
you
more
haven't
weeks.
already said it once, you're saying it this week.
Yeah, fuck it. You're right. We're deep in it. And hopefully you're not deep in it. But if you are, hopefully we can get you out of it instead of saying fuck it and waiting till January. Well, we'd like to think first, but as you pointed out, January 1st is on a what?
It's on a Thursday, and so that's dumb. Who does start something new on a Thursday?
Nobody.
Nobody. Well,
They
some
start
people
drinking.
might, but
So it's Monday the 5th, you said,
yeah,
is the start?
Monday, January 5th is like the old Tina. That would be like she'd be really eyeing that day up pretty strongly as the day that things were really, really going to turn around.
Yeah, that's the day when
Then
everything is
And then
fixed.
every Monday after that, consecutively throughout the year. But yes, January 5th would be a big eyeball one that I'd be circling on my calendar and saying, like, that's the day that my whole world's going to change.
Yeah.
Just that one day.
In one day, I will
one day.
change it all. So, well, what are we doing here today? I guess obviously talking about getting out of the fuckets and ending this cycle of always starting over January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, never
Yes.
talking about it, but never actually doing anything.
Yeah, and just even at the gym, talking to some of the moms that I'm working with, like, we all were prepared, right? We did the episode earlier in October on not, like, being aware that the season of saying screw it was coming, and then, like, kind of bracing for it, and then by Thanksgiving week, that long weekend really kind of does a number. Not only on, I mean, I'm going to even say for myself, like, I definitely was like, when I woke up on Monday after the Thanksgiving weekend, I was like, here it is. Like, I can feel it. Like, we've just had this nice, long, relaxing weekend, lots of social things, meals and Thanksgiving and enjoying all this family time. And then it's like, if you weren't already there, that was probably a day that you were going to be there. And now as each week in December goes on and we're going through all of these holiday events and getting ready for the season, shopping and just having a good time. Like, I celebrated my birthday, and right, like, so, like, all these things, it's like, it's in your head that it's time to, like, start over. I need to restart. I need to reset. Like, all these words are going through our minds, and they're just spinning, like, on repeat.
Yeah.
In our heads that, oh, this is all the stuff that I need to be doing, and then screw it, and I'll start in January or whatever.
Not doing any of them, even though we're telling ourselves to do all the things.
We're spending more energy telling the story than we are actually putting one thing into action.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Just keep telling yourself the story. Duh.
Oh, okay.
And just keep replaying.
It's
and then,
not. Is it January 5th?
No, it's not.
and we don't do anything.
So I got 3 weeks. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the episode. So just carry on.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Enjoy the holidays as
Just joking. We would never do that. So one thing we were just talking about before we started recording was returning to a habit.
yes.
Something feels off.
Let's return to what we were doing before Thanksgiving hit. And actually look at what was I doing before Thanksgiving? Why is life so much different today than it was 2.5 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was? I guess by the time we put this out, it'll be 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
So again, now it's easy to say all this stuff.
Easy.
Real easy to say, just fix it. Just stop doing what you've been doing. But that's not a reality. The reality is people are stuck and they are going to wait until January 5th, no matter what we say or do right now, most likely. Unless you guys disagree with that.
No, not at all. And we've been the whole month of December, we've really been talking to you guys and sharing information about picking anchor habits, right? Like picking one thing to focus on and to kind of help you return to, like Jeff said, what we were doing before Thanksgiving, or even just before whatever event or holiday chaos has come on. Like, what were the things that you were doing that made you actually feel good, that have gotten swept under the rug and kind of put aside, put on the shelf and said, I'll get to that later. But finding what those anchor habits are and returning to them.
And the big one, it might be adding something kind of new, because, what's the ultimate thing that we've been talking about that's led to this problem of, our habits falling off is stress. Mm-hmm. So how do we actually relieve some of this stress that we're under, so we can actually think that it's, I can do my habits and I can return to what I was doing, versus, again, we can tell people this all day and they're like, I know I need to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to, blah, blah, blah. But knowing damn well that they're so stressed that they're not going to get back to it yet.
Right. And Josh, you were meeting with a client today who was kind of in an all or nothing mindset, right? Like things were rolling along really nicely, and then what happened?
The holidays started, and she, every week it's 2 parties, 3 parties. She has a birthday in there, and part of it was perception. She's perceiving that she's not doing well because there's all these things happen. We dug a little deeper and found out she was really doing well. So it took part of that realization of that, but returning to some of those things that may have gotten lost. And we're gonna have those parties. We're gonna have the stresses. So we're dealing, returning to what helps us deal with those. And that's what we discussed.
So what do you think kind of the couple biggest things that are falling off for people right now? What are the key foundational habits you think are falling off for people right now that we can maybe go over, and then how do we reintroduce them or return to doing them?
I would say first one that comes to my mind, just based on attendance this week, is I think some people are falling out of the gym routine.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's been standing out the most to me, because I've had this conversation no fewer than a half a dozen times in the last 3 days, the biggest thing that I'm hearing people say is they don't think they're doing enough. And so they think that if they can't be perfect, and this is kind of what I was saying with the all or nothing mindset, that they are getting into that mindset of like, nothing I'm doing is working anyway, so I may as well just put it all aside. And so I think it really comes down to that, just the perfectionist and the all or nothing mindset, and I think that's what you're getting at too, is just like finding the things that you can return to and looking at them from making them flexible and being able to adjust it versus just taking it off the table completely.
Yeah. Like for me, I would say like the one thing that I can think of that's slipped for me is my fruit intake hasn't been as good all of a sudden. I don't know if it's because there's been other sweet stuff around, so my sugar fix has been fixed with...
Must be lots of vanilla ice cream.
Long John.
He did bring that whole box of Long Johns over to the party.
That's right.
Like all of a sudden, I'm like, where's the leftover vanilla Long Johns? And then I see him getting carted out into his truck.
I had to take a few of those home. They were 9th Street. You got a good thing going with those.
They're very good.
However, I did have to throw a large amount of those away. They're in the trash. It took 2 days, and they had to go goodbye.
So yeah, I mean.
So
yeah,
I recognize it. So that was the one thing today or yesterday that I refocused on. I was like, I got to get my fruit in before I have anything else. Mm-hmm. And generally speaking, when I have my 2 fruits, the other stuff, the craving is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
So it really takes care of itself. Like, again, elimination of the other stuff is by addition of the fruit. That'll always be a thing for me. If I eat my fruit, the sugar cravings are next to 0.
Mine has been the past like 5 days has been more meals out than I'm used to. And definitely have noticed how that makes me feel. And I know for some people, when you're not actually working on being aware of stuff, it's very easy to fall in a trap where you don't realize that could be, that anything's wrong with that. It's just very, very much your norm. And so for some of the people that I've been talking to, they're aware that things feel off, and that's where they feel real icky, because they're like, this isn't, I know that I don't want to feel this way. And that's where I found myself the past several days of just being like, this week it's been very intentional on, do I have my food ready? Are my meals ready to be eaten at home? Because remember, what happens is when we get stressed, we're overwhelmed, our planning goes out the window. So we're not prepared for the week. We don't feel like we're being perfect, so that plan goes out the week. And then before we know it, we're days into a cycle, a pattern that we're willing to repeat until we can pick this arbitrary start over day. Whatever that may be for whoever's listening. Like, we all, like, I say we all, but I really believe it. We all have that day where we're just like, that's the day I'm going to get things together. And trying to break out of that cycle and that habit, that pattern of using that language
is really challenging.
Is very challenging.
Well, speaking of that, I'll throw myself under the bus, and here's mine. So for me, my food has actually been really good. We've done a good job of prep. I've had my workouts in the gym. Mine has been my intentional movement. Last week, the day after Thanksgiving, I did Cahokia Mounds, and I used that for a good 8 days of giving myself excuses because my legs were sore. And so I pretty well wrote off the first week of December. And I've used the excuse of the weather being crappy. And so here we are. I don't even know what today is, but we're damn near halfway through the month. And I don't know that I've done any intentional movement. So that's how easy it can happen.
When can you return to your intentional movement?
I can do it today.
Right,
Okay.
just leave this podcast right now.
Okay.
Forrest, go.
Go. We'll just take this thing on the streets and we'll finish while we're walking.
But yes, we're obviously, so we feel it. We know everyone else is feeling it. So thinking of returning to the habit or returning to the thing that actually makes you feel good, and picking picking one thing that, like, if I had a client come to me right now or message me right now and say, Tina, things are off the rails. What can I do? What should I do? I would probably tell them to pick one thing that they can focus on today that you can control. That's key here, because we're not able to control all the chaos around us. The stress happens, but it's how we deal with it. It's how we respond. But what's that one thing, that one habit that you can return to that you know makes you feel good, and you can go to bed tonight with a win? That's where I would start.
Pretty good starting point, because 1 win feels really good, and then 2 feels even better, and then 3 and 4 and so on. But just not being afraid, like, to me, I like when I think of like waiting, and then I tell people all the time, like, what good does it wait? Like, if you're ready to get started, let's get started tomorrow or this week. Like, we don't need to wait for next week for that fresh start. Like, why waste 5 more days to get started on something whenever, somebody's signing up for the gym? So I kind of replay this in my head every time I'm returning back to something. Is like, the challenge that I enjoy is the mental aspect of, I'm not somebody who's controlled by the holidays. Like, and I want to be able to say that the holidays don't control who I am, what I do, how I live. I'm still in control, and having that sure feels good when you have it. And being able to say those types of things with confidence versus how many people are sitting at home and saying, I am a holiday eater, or I'm somebody who can't make it through the holidays.
Yeah, or this happens every year on the holidays. This happens to me every year.
This is just who I am.
Yeah, like, and then it's just almost an excuse to keep doing it, like to continue in that path, that pattern, that story, without shaking it up a little bit and being like, actually, I don't really like the way this feels.
Yeah.
And finding, again, the one thing, the something that helps you change that story just a little bit.
So, like on the technical side of things, like on the very tangible item, like picking that one thing, but on the mental side, my challenge would be to be somebody different this year. Like challenge yourself to be somebody different than who you've been maybe the last 30 years in December. Don't be that person anymore. You can change it.
Yeah, and if that story is on repeat in your head that you always do that, I challenge you to like Jeff said, like challenge that story. If that sentence comes up and you're like, oh man, I do that all the time. Like, oh, we always do this on that night. I challenge you to say, you know what, tonight I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change this story just a little bit, and to get to that feeling of doing something different, being someone different, and actually looking at the way I feel about it and not just accepting it as just fact.
I'm going to say, like, maybe even get crazy when you got to bring a dish to...
Crazy!
Get crazy.
Bring a big box of Long Johns.
Bring something to the family dinner that's not a casserole. And I'm saying this for anybody that's in my family. I hope you're hearing me. I don't like casseroles. So please just bring something basic that's good.
Mr. Vanilla really wants some just plain green beans.
Yeah, plain green beans.
Plain potatoes.
Plain sweet potato. Which my cousin actually did that on Thanksgiving, but she didn't tell me. She had a half and half, and I was like,
oh, so you could have had...
I could have had plain sweet, but I seen them, and I was like, looks like there's like syrup or something on there. So I passed, because I just don't like it. Not because I'm worried about the
If anybody
damage,
really wants to
good.
know more about all of this, Mr. Vanilla is going to be released soon, and we have a lot to unpack. But anyway,
whole nother podcast.
Back to where we're at today. If you find yourself stuck in that story, I want you to think about, challenge yourself to pick that one habit to return to, the one that you've known's fallen off, or pick one thing to return to that might be new, and see how that feels versus staying just stuck in the spiral of the story that isn't serving you anymore.
Yeah. Josh, you got anything?
I'm going to go put my coat on and go for a run.
Perfect.
The door is flapping open from the wind, so you can just run right out.
And
I suggest...
At first I thought there was a ghost.
Go straight west. Walk out the door and turn right.
I'm going to call you in 30 minutes for a ride.
Go west, because the wind will be whipping in your face. Yeah. So, well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
So, well, get out of the stuck and suck, and don't wait till January 5th to return to your habits.